Hello everyone, welcome back. So, in the previous session, we have learned about CSS properties like background color, text color, and border view styles, along with the margin and padding, and also the most important box model, and also how what are the types of stylings we can use, linking for the HTML like internal, external, and inline. So, in this session, we will learn more deep into CSS about the responsiveness and few other properties. So let's go one by one. So first of all, let me create in the class underscore 05.html. So here let me open the create class underscore 05. So let's take from here onwards. First of all, we will learn about position property, and after that you will learn about linear gradient, and after that you will learn about z index, opacity, transitions, and after that you can learn about align items. Then you will learn still what we have to learn, display properties, then media queries, which are for responsiveness. So these are the remaining properties which we'll use mostly in our real life scenario for the real time projects and in our daily life day-to-day use. And another one which I will say with this is animations with the help of CSS. So animations also we will do it. So let's go one by one, dig into the CSS properties. And the first one which I will say is display properties. So let's go for h2, h3 and display properties. So let's assume you have one div and inside you have three child divs. Okay, so let's copy. So here I have written welcome. Here I have written to Swhizz technologies. So these are the three divs I have written in, along with some few tags or necessary, not necessary as of now. So these are the three divs, and once we go to HTML, let me close this and open the live. See, you have the display properties, and if you can inspect here, you have all the elements inside the div, one parent div and three child divs, right? So if you want all these divs in a row, like let me show you with the colors, like class equal to first, class equal to second, class equal to third. So these are the three classes, and I am linking with the same HTML link, so you can copy this link style and we can go with the here. And here instead of style I will give class underscore 05.scss. So I have to create one file like class underscore 05.css. So if you go there and you can check, once you click control with click, you will redirect to this page. So keep in mind this one if you think to verify the line whether the file is linked or not. So now let's split it into two, which is the best thing for now to check the classes and everything. And here we can give as class equal to parent. So for example, now I have given parent class with a background color of pink. Okay, and dot first with a background color aqua, and same dot second with a background color of beige, and dot third with a background color of some random orange or olive or olive. Okay, so if you go there you can see, right, see, oh, it's somewhat similar. So let's go for gray. So as you can see, these are in column wise, like one by one row, and here this is the pink. Why? Because it's not showing, we are giving it here. For example, if you comment any stuff like any div inside this, you can see the pink above that one. See, that is pink is in the back side covering of all the things, because the div means the child divs will occupy all the parent divs. So if you want to see the parent div also, let's give internal spacing, which is called padding, as a 3 rem. Okay, this is now parent and these are the childs. Now I will give here for each one as a margin bottom. I think margin bottom as a 1 rem, and I will give this one to the second one also. If you see, now there is a space between all these, but I need all the three in a side by side, and also I need padding for the internal things. So I will give as a 2 rem. Once you see, it will be like a box shape. Now if you see, 3 boxes. So I need these 3 in a side by side in the like welcome to and Swhizz technologies. Like for that you have to add a property which is called as display property. So that should be happen for not the 3 page, it should be happen for the parent one, so that the parent property will display the child properties, child elements, how we are giving. So for example, display flex. Flex is a property that will give all the child elements inside that parent as a horizontal view. See, as a horizontal view you got it. But here we have given margin for these two, right? As you can see, orange color is a margin and here orange color is a margin, but we need it side by side for all the properties. Right now we can give it as a like this for welcome div as a left right margin and 2 as right margin. But if we have not 3 divs, we have 4 or 5 or 6 divs, how you can give evenly? So for that you have to write another property which is called gap as 1 rem, or else how much difference you need it, you need it like that. If you see, now there is a gap, even though if you now remove the margins, I'm commenting the margins now, and you can see there is a gap. And also see, now if you can see, this is a parent and these 3 are child, but these are in the left side. You want equally distributed, means you have to write another property like justify content space between or space around. Space between will give the gap between these spaces, and if you hover on the parent you can see the violet color which we are getting it. Violet color you can see, right, the dotted lines violet color, that is the space between them. For example, if you don't want to give space between, if you want to give center, you can give the center, and or else you can give end, a left, or else any property, space around, space between, space evenly. For example, space evenly, if you hover on it, it will give the space of left side and also right side in the left side of welcome and also right side of the Swhizz technologies. So for example, no, you have now in horizontal, but you need it in a vertical, and also centrally horizontal and vertical. Now you can give here, what you can give means flex direction. Here display flex means horizontal. Now you will give flex direction as a column. So instead of row, I need it in a column. So in the column it will come. See, now it came in the column, and also when you keep on get, you can see it in vertical way instead of horizontal. So these are the two properties main we will have display properties. And another property we have is, instead of display flex, for example, let me give here display none. So none means, what is the meaning of display? It will show. Flex means it will show in row. Flex direction should be column. That's what we have given here. For first div you are saying display should be none. So there is no space, even though there is an element here, there is no space, but here you have two elements. So means it is removing the space in the here. So for example, instead of display none, you have given visibility hidden. Okay, visibility hidden, so that you can see there is a space, but for our eye it's not visible. You got the point, right? Difference between the display none and visibility hidden. Nothing, in a single line I will say the difference, which is important for in every interview front-end developer question. What is the difference between display none and visibility hidden? Display none means it will remove the div from complete UI along with the space. But visibility hidden means it will remove only the div which is we can see in the high, but the space will be there. As you can see, there is a space in the top above 2. But if you give visibility hidden, display none instead of visibility hidden, and you have hover on the parent, you can see only the two divs, two blocks instead. That is the main difference between the display block and display none and visibility hidden. So I hope you got a clarity about display property. And alignments, align items is same like what I said. It should be in a center, or else it should be in the row, or else it should be how it should be like that. For example, I have given it is in the row, and you can see now it is given here. And once I remove this, you can see the left side. So if I want to write align items, now I have center. You can give center this is the center line, so that it will align the item center in a vertical way. See, vertical welcome to and horizontal are in a vertically centered. If you want horizontal center, you have to show justify you have to give justify content center. So like that you can make a vertically and horizontally center with these two properties. So what I can say that align items are for vertically center, and justify content is for, you can use for horizontally center also. Okay, so these are the things which I can say align properties, justify and display properties. Everything everywhere we will use display property, which is flex, or as flex direction column we will give, or else we can give anything whatever in. For example, you want welcome to occupy up to 50%, and remaining should occupy remaining 50% of the parent container. Simple, just you have to give flex basis. What is means, it will take the flex as a base and give the 50% to it, so that it will occupy the 50% of the total div, and remaining 2 will occupy the div. And inside the remaining 2, the Swhizz technologies, if you want to occupy the 40 and this one is 10 or as 20 30, you have to give another flex basis for these two. Like for here 2, you can give flex basis as 20%. See, it's occupying the 20%. 50 plus 20 remaining 30, it will be like this. So make sure everything which we have should be like inside the div only 100%, and we can divide based on that. I hope you got a clarity about all the things of display properties, different, and also the difference between the visibility hidden and display none. And these are the two main things which we will get in interview, and also in the real-time scenario we will use it. So another thing I will show you, the position property. Okay, so let me clear this stuff. And for example, if you have another div outside of the parent, okay, you have given as a class as a second underscore parent. Okay, in real time you should not write the classes like this, but I'm giving it as a demo purpose only. In the upcoming classes we will do a mini project on using HTML and CSS. There we can use the real-time scenario classes, how we have to use. So for now I will use like a h3 tag, and I'll say position property testing. Okay, so if you can see, this is the position property testing, and I will add few classes for this and the stylings for that. Background color as an orange. Now if you go there, and padding I will give as 2rem, and width as 200 pixel. So as you can see, this is one, right? And I also write margin top because there is no space, right? So margin top is 1.5 rem. We can give in a pixel also. Make sure 1 rem equal to 16 pixel. That is the main thing you have to think. Like 1 rem equal to 16 pixel. So like this also we can write 16 pixel or else 1.5 rem. 1.5 rem means 1 plus 0.5 rem, right? 1 rem means 16 pixel. 0.5 means half of this 16, 18, 8. 16 plus 8, 24. 24 pixel you can write, or else 1.5 rem you can write. So this is now we have given here. So now we will write a position property for this div, so that you can see. So for position I will write as static. So for example, if you have n number of parent divs, control C, and after this I am pasting n number of parent. Now if I go there, it will be sticking for that div itself, nothing it will change. Okay, let me give here margin also, margin bottom 1 rem, so there will be some more space. Okay, now for example, if I have position property, instead of static I have fixed. Okay, see here, on scrolling it's not moving at all. If you remove this, it will occupy the space. Means what is the meaning of position property? Means even though on the scrolling it will not go in the DOM. As you can see previously, when I given as a static, it's occupying the DOM space and everything here. But now if I given as a fixed, see, it's not occupying the space, and it's over that means like it's over the div of that another div, total DOM. That is one position property which we can use in a real life scenario, like header is there, or else some ads will be there, right? Where example, if you open any Google or else any few document blogs, ads will be there. Even though you're scrolling, the top ad will be same like that only. Until you close that ad, then only you can see the remaining content in the back side. That's where we can use the position property. And also we can use the another property which is position, for position, which is sticky. So it will be sticking to for this respect to position only. For example, we have relative and also absolute and relative properties are nothing but this is the div, this is one div inside the body which is second parent, and this is the parent thing. So for example, now if I give anything properties for the second part, like uh, for example, if you are giving like margin 20 rem, like margin top 20 rem, so what it is taking, it's taking the margin top of this thing only. Okay, so in case if you give position as not sticky, relative, and instead of margin top, here if you remove the margin top, it will only consider the position of the body. Let me tell you, position absolute. See now, it's only giving position to that body itself. Means absolute position is interlinked with the relative. Whenever you give position for the relative of that particular child div or anything, it will take base as a parent div of whatever the position we have given absolute, or else it will take the body. For example, if you have body and inside that, for example, let me show you. If you have one body, let me explain in pictorial view. Let's open new thing. So for example, this is the body element, and inside you have one parent element, div element, and inside you have one another element which is child. So if you think in this view, this is body. Where is the text? Okay, this is first div, first div, and this is child div. So if you give any properties for this child div, it will take body as a parent. Why? Because by default the body is the superior for all the divs. Now if you give position property for this one as relative and absolute for this position, and if you give any properties for the child div, it will take first div as a main parent instead of body. It will ignore the body because the position relative will take as a main thing. That is how we will happen the position properties in the real-time scenario. And in the website designing, we will make it a position property useful mostly, but mostly in response, I will tell you in further responsiveness we will have different screen size in this session, where the position property we won't be used that much because it's not a good practice. In the rare case scenario, we will use the positions property because the screen size will change 1 to 1. Here we are hard coding the data, we are not making it responsive according to the screen size. So we will use mostly display and margin and padding properties to make it visible and everything. So another thing, for example, now another property which we are going to discuss is z index. So I have a z index here, z index as a z index as 1, and now with a position of fixed Okay, as you can see, along with the fixed we can use another property which is similar to the position, is that z index. Now if you comment the fixed, you can see, right, z index is overlapping on the things. Let me tell you with another example so that you won't get confused. So for example, I have a div, and inside div I have h1 Swhizz technologies, okay, and I have so I have given this one as, let me comment this, we don't need this stuff for now. So I have given as class as parent, and now I have given as class heading. Now dot parent background color aqua dot heading background color like violet blue, and margin will be no need of margin, padding which is internal space of 2rem, so that once you can see oh, there is a spelling mistake here. So as you can see, Swhizz Technologies is taking care of, and let me give here padding as 5rem so that you can see overlapping issue also. See, now Swhizz Technologies is overlapping on this thing. For example, if I give z index as 1, or else you can give z index as another example. I can like a z index property, here it's not applying, position static it should be given along with the z index, that's what they are mentioning here. So if we give position static absolute, position absolute, I think div is getting overlapped. Let's check with another thing, like let's do one thing. Instead of z index mostly will applicable, instead of div we can apply for the image. So for this we have the image and we have this thing and we have, okay, now let me grab some image. So command X, command V, and here instead of it I will use image, where image you will have src, right? Now, is there anything else? Nothing more than that, right? So src, let us take an image, let us take this one only. So as you can see, now it's taking this div along with this. Now if I want image source inside this one, I have to give image properties as a position position not relative, it should be absolute, and after that left, which is give the left alignment with the body taking respect to, and top 0. Now if you can see, it's covering the background image. So if you give z index as -1, now you can see the back div is covering over this. You can give z index as -1 for this one, or else you can give z index for this one as a +1. Nothing more than that. Z index should be over one thing over another one. That is the main thing mostly, or else you can sometimes it will have to check with the distance, means like values of the previous z index, and we have to give the alignment, because here z index will not be applicable because we didn't give the position property. So the mostly main thing you have to think is z index only will be applicable when we have position property. Okay, that is the main thing we can say. So another thing which you can I think you can understand that, let me make it background stuff and this remove this thing. Okay, now if you want to make it a somewhat blur event, or like, let me take any good image, with the best quality. Let's take this image, copy image address, and we will keep it here. Let us comment this, it's taking too long. So let's take image where src equal to so I hope you can get it. Now we can give for this as a class equal to parent. So once you give this thing, no need of this stuff, let's remove this thing. Let's give width 600 pixel, height as 600 pixel for a better view. Let's give width as height as 400. It's somewhat looking odd. So this is the image. So once opacity means changing the color contrast of the existing image, so that sometimes you can see black and white images or black and blur images in the website, right? That is where we will use the opacity for the things what you want to say, like simply for the image which we are getting overall. So the example for here, we can give opacity as 0.5. Only the opacity range will be from 0 to 1. So see, it's somewhat given as a transparent. Now if you inspect this element, and here you have given, once you increase that like 0.1, see it's somewhat blurred. If you give 0.9, it's similar to the original image. 0.5 means it giving as a transparent, so that once you give the position property and also like position absolute and top 0, see now this is the use of opacity, so that we can overload and give the properties of whatever we needed it in the opacity. That is the main thing why we use the opacity thing. Okay, I hope you got this. And another one which I want to get it along with is the transition. So let's delete all the stuff what we don't need. Now for transitions, position you got it, and linear gradient I will let you know, and z index you got it. Let me tell you linear gradient also, so that we can cover it in this div only. So if you're giving go back, and let's go back to that source. With a padding of 3 rem, make sure the semicolon should be there, so or else it will be error. No, we don't need of opacity. So you have black color, now you have the background of blue color, right? But sometimes you need a color of combination of red and yellow or blue or white, anything. So at that time you have to give a property called, instead of background color, you can have to give a property, another property which is in the same as background image as a linear gradient, is a function where you will give angle where what you want. For example, 180 degrees I have given along with the color of red and yellow. Let's see how it will be. See, so 180 degrees it will be like from top to bottom red and yellow. For example, if I given as 90 degrees, it will come horizontally. See, red to yellow. That is how one design it will be. And here you can see red to yellow, or else if you want reverse, means you have to just copy remove this and write yellow to red from where you want to where. That's it. See, yellow to red, it's in a vice versa. That's how we will use the linear gradient. Nothing, it's same like a background color, but mixing of combinations and all the stuff. And another one what we can see is animations. Animations is nothing but when we reload we are changing the colors and properties. For that I will show you another thing, another best example for animation, so that in the upcoming CSS in the site we will use those animations and all the stuffs which we have learned till now. So let me delete this stuff till now what we have created, and let's give in animation. For example, let's give like animations, and after that you will give a div which is an empty div, so that you can see the animation color of that one. And now let's go for styling part, where most of the stylings will be here itself. So we are giving a div tag where the width is like 300 pixel and the height is like 300 pixel, and after that you will give background color initially will be like red color, let's assume, and after that animation name we can give as animation name as animation name. So it will be like example for animation, and animation duration it should be like 4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds, let's assume. So here we have given the properties a div, and the div styling should be initially this one, and the animation name we have given an animation duration. So the another keyword which we'll learn here is for animation keyword which we will learn important is keyframes. Okay, that is the keyframes where we will use for animation purpose to understand the CSS. For that you have to use @keyframes and give what is the animation name we have given, example, right? So we have to give example, and this is an object function where you have to give from where we have to change the color from background color red to we have to give where we have to change background color like green, let's assume. So here we have to give flower bases instead of 2, and here same like flower bases instead of from, so that is the structure. And now if you go there, see the changing it into, let's delay the time for 10 seconds. So on reloading it is like this, and it's in 10 seconds duration it will change from red to green. That is one animation. You got it right? So this is how the animation will work. So we got it everything in detail, whatever we have and all the stuff. And the most and final important one is the responsiveness, which we will go in the next session. And along with that we will go with the introduction of JS and all the stuff. Thank you.